So earlier today, news came out that far-right conspiracy theorist and altogether terrible person, Laura Loomer, tested positive for COVID-19. To which I say,
oh no!
Oh no, if there had only been a way to avoid this, like a free vaccine. Weird. All right, so now she says, she reports that she's been experiencing some pretty awful symptoms that left her feeling like she, quote, got hit by a bus. Now, how ironic that yesterday I made a nice analogy when I was talking about the Nicki Minaj story about COVID-19 being the bus, right? So you don't want to get hit by the bus being COVID-19. Well, here we go. Today, ironically, the bus. She has been hit by the bus. So now in a post on Gitter, Loomer complained that she started suffering from fever, chills, a runny nose, sore throat, nausea, and severe body aches. And on Wednesday, she said she felt like she had a really bad case of the flu, so then took a COVID test and came back positive. She added, I did not take the COVID-19 vaccine, which you, again, should have taken beforehand. It's not a cure, it is protection. But she said, I don't plan on ever taking it because it is unsafe and ineffective. She also apparently started a treatment of azithromycin, hydroxychloroquine. Oh, look, somebody's still taking that. Also, she's taking the Orthomune dietary supplement. I don't know what that is, but apparently, at least she's not, was the new thing, like snorting iodine or something? I don't know. Oh, they're weird stuff that they're doing, okay? She also reportedly received the Regeneron antibody treatment used by Donald Trump. So now that actually is effective. That's the monoclonal antibody treatment. It was given to Donald Trump. It was also given to Joe Rogan. And of course, that's been shown to be pretty effective in those with COVID-19, treating it that have a high risk of complications. Now, earlier, the monoclonal antibody treatment, the Biden administration says, well, we're gonna buy up a bunch of doses, which did create a shortage. So the government bought this up in order to, of course, make sure that they're able to have doses to give to people who are severely ill. Okay, and so there's that. So, of course, Laura Loomer complains, oh my God, I can't believe they're limiting this. Well, you actually have to be have a pretty high risk in order to benefit the most from the monoclonal antibody treatments. So they're saving it for the worst cases, for the people who are off the worst, who could benefit the most from the medicine. So it makes sense, right? So now that said, that monoclonal treatment is of course created by Regeneron. That has emergency authorization, but not FDA approval. So now the vaccine, of course, does have FDA approval. And, oh, by the way, Regeneron also is being pushed by Governor Ron DeSantis. Instead of prevention, instead of vaccines, instead of masks, because he gets kickbacks from the company. So, I mean, you know, there seems to be a bit of a conflict of interest there. Now, you might be asking, well, okay, wait a minute. What about the horsey paste? Is she not taking ivermectin? I thought that was the treatment du jour. Why is that not in her stable of treatments? Well, she asked the doctor to prescribe it, and they said, nay, will not get it. No, seriously, though, she was complaining on I think, Telegram, that, oh, I can't, why won't I can't find any doctors that will prescribe me for ivermectin. Well, that's because it's not been shown to work against COVID-19. Why is she horsing around here? No, okay, again, I know, it's not good to make jokes. Very, very mean-spirited, I know. Hey, this is a human being. She is suffering. Why are you having fun? Why are you laughing? Well, for one, I'm not having fun. This is not fun for me, seeing people suffer the consequences of their actions. What this is to illustrate how stupidity gets you hurt and could get you killed. Okay? And so the thing is, as I mentioned, or may not have mentioned, but I will now, this was her wish. She actually asked for this. She asked for this. In fact, I got a post here that she posted on in Parler back on December 2020. Here I have that. Oh, would you look at that? Laura Loomer. I hope I get COVID just so I can prove to people I've had bouts of food poisoning that are more serious and life-threatening than a hyped-up virus. Have you ever eaten bad fajitas? That will kill you faster than COVID. Fajitas. Bad fajitas. Got a case of bad fajitas, y'all. Now, again, to show you how poorly she's doing, in follow-up messages on Telegram, she made it very clear that she was suffering some pretty severe symptoms. Right, here's that. Just pray for me, please. Thoughts and prayers, everybody. Thoughts and prayers. Can't even begin to explain how brutal the body aches and nausea that come with COVID are. I am in so much pain. This is honestly the worst part about it. Now, look, again, if you're wondering why I'm being unbelievably cruel, since this is another human being, it's not because, again, I don't care for another human being's safety, right? That sucks. She's a person. She's a human being. She is in pain. And there is a part of me that absolutely does feel for her. I get it. And there's a part of me that says, well, I hope she gets better and hope she feels better, etc. But at the same time, understand that I've kind of run out of empathy as well towards lunatics. And so I understand as well that having that empathy towards lunatics is not going to get us out of this pandemic, okay? We're coddling the lunatics, the crazies, too much. We are feeling too much for them. At some point, think of a toxic relationship, okay, where you care about this person that continues to not only treat themselves, but also everyone around them incredibly poorly, very, very badly. That's the situation we're in. At some point, you got to cut ties. At some point, you got to cut off the feelings. You have to cut that person off, okay? And the anti-vaxxers, to me, they've gotten to that point. There's no more empathy there. You put up a wall and say, okay, that's it. You want this? You wanted the consequences? This is what you wanted to do? You wanted to fuck around? Well, now you're going to find out. All right? That's it. That's it. Again, she fucked around. She's finding out. And so it's really hard for me to express sympathy for someone who even now that she's sick, is still spreading harmful disinformation. According to the Daily Beast, who wrote this article, she had posted more vaccine conspiracy theories, writing that the government, quote, doesn't really want you to know what it does, the vaccine. Why would the government want to hide anything about the vaccine? Honestly, that's an honest question, right? The number one goal of the Biden administration is to get control of the pandemic. Why? It's not actually because they care about you. It's not actually because of altruism. No, it's so that corporations and people can get back to work. That's it. And the government. And so the government can also stop spending money on social programs, on expensive COVID treatments, and, as well as stimulus payments, and can return to that pre-COVID status quo. Okay? So that's the thing. It turns out it's actually really expensive to continue spending money on all of this COVID stuff. Do you think Biden wants to deal with this still? No, of course, nobody does. No president would. This is the nightmare politically, as well as from a humanitarian standpoint. And so what they want to do, though, the administration wants to do easy things. They want to get some easy wins. All right. They want to have high approval. They want to create a legacy, right? As a great president. Look at that. Oh, wow. What a great president Joe Biden was. Oh, wow, look at that. The thing is that COVID-19, for one, COVID sunk Donald Trump. His response to it was disastrous. And now Biden is also getting his ass kicked politically as a result of the Delta variant. Now, of course, what's driving the Delta variant is Republican games. Republican games from people like Ron DeSantis, who again gets personal kickbacks from Regeneron, and of course is in these political fights. You have all these different politicians in these areas that are getting into political fights with members of the far right that basically they've gone into a dumb-off. Honestly, who can be the dumbest? Who can be the most anti-science? Who can be the most anti-vax, anti-mask? Larry Elder ran a campaign of saying, we're gonna get rid of all the mandates. We're gonna get rid of the mask mandates in California. And so that's what's popular on the right wing. It turns out, well, I should say on the fringe right wing, and fortunately for the rest of us, it is not popular, and we are not going in that direction. But understand that these political games and these anti-vaxxers have stretched this on for so long in an effort, a pretty cynical effort, I should say, to sabotage Joe Biden and the Democrats politically, despite the fact that, of course, we do have a safe and effective vaccine that actually can beat the virus and get us all back to some semblance of normal and avoid all of this incredibly unnecessary suffering that's going on. And as I mentioned earlier, the cost, right? Kaiser Family Foundation approximated that 84% of hospitalizations for COVID-19 were preventable with vaccination. 84%, with roughly $20,000 per cost per hospitalization based on other data estimates. And most of that money happens to be either borne by insurance companies, which means higher premiums for you and I, for the people who are actually doing the right thing, or increased money coming from our tax money. Our tax money is going for this. And so instead of going to other things, it's a total of about $5.8 billion on hospitalizations for the unvaccinated. They are costing us time, they are costing us money, they are costing us freedom, because now we have to go back and now we have to do the masks again. And we still have to, of course, go back to work, and we're not getting any more stimulus, which we should. And we're not going to shut down again, which we probably should. And so this situation, we continue to be we're continuing to pay the cost. The people who did the right thing are paying for the people who didn't. And it pisses me off. Just get the goddamn vaccine. And I'm going to say it. I'm going to go there. When and if she gets better, okay, she's going to do this. She's going to pull Joe Rogan. She's going to say, oh, look, see, it was this. In this case, it was the hydroxychloroquine. It was all these other things, except maybe for the Regeneron. And now look at me, I'm fine. See, you don't have to actually get the vaccine. No, you're going to be totally fine. Here we go. I wouldn't be surprised if she sent someone to the feed store to get herself some ivermectin, and then credits her miraculous recovery to horsey paste. That, again, that's who these people are. That's exactly what they're doing. They don't learn. They don't admit that when they're wrong. They stubbornly hold on to their bullshit miracle cures, sometimes even to the death. And that's really the difference, right? When we're wrong, and we do get things wrong, we admit it. We come out and say, actually, no, we were wrong. Here's the factual information. This is the correction. They don't. They will go down with that ship. That's why I've run out of sympathy. We are, and the other thing is, these folks are lucky enough to be living in a country where we are swimming in free vaccines. And yet they say, nope, not going to do it. I choose not to. It's really a slap in the face to those all over the world who are suffering in countries where, they don't have access to this vaccine, while America is hoarding it. Not only that, in a lot of cases, the United States has thrown out expired vaccine doses because not enough people are choosing to get it. And that's while these chuds decide to go and eat horsey paste. No, I'm done caring about them. I'm over them. I'm over the anti-vaxxers, and it's time to get tough. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and share with your friends. You can subscribe and help out the channel by becoming a patron. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf, or you can become a channel member as well by hitting the join button below.